Psychiatrist Alfred Adler, a contemporary of Freud, was convinced that our place among our siblings influences the style of life. The eldest children are seen as neurotic and authoritarian, while the youngest is spoiled and lacking empathy. The middle children, on the other hand, are even-tempered and successful, but are definitely rebellious and independent. I am the middle of 5 children. I have one older sister, one older brother, one younger brother, and one younger sister. Most early studies are discredited on this topic, but recent studies are showing more importance of birth order for animals in particular. There is now more evidence supporting the idea that we are influenced by position in family hierarchy. One article appeared to show the link between the birth order theory and intelligence, body shape, disease susceptibility, and sexuality. A study of over 600,000 people in Norway shows that people with more older siblings actually have greater suicide risks. It also shows that the first and the last-born children have closer relationships to parents than the middle children do. Middle children tend to have closer relationships outside of the home. All of these facts and theories are extremely relevant in my life. I am always the mediator in the family, but I am also a lot more independent than my siblings are. I do agree that my siblings have closer connections to our parents than I do. Most of my time is actually spent outside of the home. In most early child development cases, the 1-year mark symbolizes a list of many different benchmarks. A child has the ability to do things such as sit up without assistance and walking holding onto furniture and trying to imitate others' words. My major benchmark and bragging rights that I earned was that I was potty trained by the age of 1. I would call for my mom even in the middle of the night and tug on my diaper to show my need to use a restroom. Usually, 98% of children are potty trained by 36 months, so this was a pretty good thing. According to Piaget Substage 4, 8 to 12 months is known for goal-directed behavior, so maybe I was just really persistent and goal-oriented towards politely using the restroom. There have been links between divorce and negative childhood outcomes. There have been studies exploring the simultaneous effects of depression and parents' divorce on the adjustment of their children, and there has been rare longitudinal design. There was a 3-generation study of relative effects of depression and divorce on offspring based on data from a 25-year longitudinal study. There were families with high and low risk for depression. 178 grandchildren with an average age of 13 and 14 years of age were used. Divorce had a limited impact on the child adjustment, but more among the high-risk depression families. High-risk depression families consist of at least one depressed parent. People feel the need to get divorces for many reasons. If marriage is not satisfied or fulfilling, they feel that divorce is the answer to increase their happiness. Also, divorce is becoming more acceptable in today's day. Strain of stress, both financial, mentally, and physically, are also reasons that add to this. People spend less time together in their middle adulthood than they do in their earlier years. My mother divorced when I was 4 years old from my father and remarried again when I was about 7. For remarriage, 70 to 80% of divorcees end up remarrying, and less than 1/3 of women over 40 do not end up remarrying. What's very interesting is that 90% of women who are under 25 that get divorced will remarry again. Men are more likely to remarry at an older age than women do. My mom is now over 40 and has not remarried, so we kind of fall under this statistic. The next major step in my life was moving with my family from New Jersey to North Carolina when I was 11. Studies show that frequent mobility has been linked to poorer educational attainment. A cohort study examined effect of frequent residential and school changes on formal educational attainment. Even small number of moves may be detrimental, and it is frequent in young children to be moved around at a young age. Moving home or school may be associated with short-term social and health effects in children. Gender and friendships played a major role in moving. There's a lot of sex segregation in middle childhood. Girls focus on about one or two best friends, and it is easier for me to move in middle school than it was for my brother who transferred in high school. Teens care too much and worry too much about status. Dominance hierarchy is important as well, and their rank that represents the relative social power of those in a group. Teenagers, mainly in high school, have fear of rejected or neglected adolescents, which makes it scarier for him to adjust than it was for me to adjust. If getting into college and focusing on school was hard enough, transferring and having to start over my sophomore year now has been even harder. Not only is there pressure to make friends all over again, but there's pressure to make the good grades. This is the time when it all matters. Studies show a rising problem in students. Students are going to bed later and waking up earlier. For me, for my coping methods, I focused on emotion-focused coping. I looked at the positive to motivate myself and succeed rather than looking at the negatives. Using data from 2 nationally represented samples of primarily middle-aged and older adults, tests were done to test if personal mastery in adulthood were associated with the educational attainment of the participants' father and mother. In both samples, personal mastery was not associated with either parent's education level. This is very true in my situation as well. My mother had her first child as a teenager, and I was the third one while she was still in college, but she did finish college and is now a teacher. My father did not get any further education other than high school, so this correlates with this study. The next major step in my life was getting into a very committed relationship. I started dating my boyfriend, Michael, the end of my high school senior year. We dated all through my freshman year of college and now through my sophomore year. A major and important factor that was a part of this was that we were in a long-term, long-distance relationship. A study shows relationship satisfaction is crucial for health and happiness. The people who savored and used multiple means of contact keep a stronger bond and yielded greater positive emotion. We used many different means of staying connected, and he made sure to come visit me every weekend. So staying happy and close was not an issue for us. From the birth order of my family to early development patterns, divorce, moving from state to state, getting into college, and staying in a long-term, long-distance relationship have all contributed to who I am today and my lifespan and development over time.